Hello and welcome to the episodes 2 to 5 recap of Love Island. Now, I was not aware that the show actually airs every single night, so I'm just going to do a weekly recap, maybe on Saturdays or Sundays, of everything that happened in that week. It's obviously summer in Belgium at the moment, and I'm traveling quite a bit, so hopefully I can keep the schedules to Saturdays. Anyway, onto the recap. In episode 2, Liam asks the guys if he's clutching at straws and wasting his time by holding on to hope for Gemma. None of them seem to be able to read her, but my answer to Liam would be yes, you're clutching at straws. Davide takes Gemma over to talk, and she basically admits that she could be happier. He says that he's looking for something serious, someone family-oriented and ambitious. Obviously, he has his pick of women, and Gemma makes it known that she won't be second place. She wants to be first. She said herself that she's competitive, so she's kind of made herself the front runner for his affections. Their interaction is ice cold though, and apart from looks, I don't know why they would want to be with each other, but it's early days. There is no initial chemistry though, like zero. Tasha asks Luca if he can go for a chat. She tells him then that she's dated an Italian guy before, and while Davide is attractive, he's not really her vibe. They both admit that they like each other as much as people can at this stage anyway. So I guess they're going to all date each other at this point. Gemma tells Liam that she's attracted to Davide, but that's not set yet. He tells her that he finds her very attractive and he sees potential, and she's like, that's nice to hear. She says that she'll be honest, even though it'll be hard for him to hear. India gets her partner's name wrong. She calls him Ikanu. She says he's good looking, but she doesn't want to rip his clothes off. He's a nice guy though. I mean, I don't get Ikena's vibe either, so I can empathize with her. Paige goes to chat with Luca. He doesn't seem in a rush to be dating around like other people, and he says that it would be nice if they could share a bed tonight. And then something really sweet happens. She says that she didn't bring any sleeping socks and her feet get really cold, and he says that she could just tuck her feet under his legs. I don't know why, but this was so randomly wholesome. Paige is also very adorable and likable, by the way, and they have a very easy chemistry for the first day. She says she's looking forward to the bedside chats, and she's a little giggly. It's cute. So at the end of the evening, they all get into bed together with their partners, and all of their beds are like in the same space, like a kind of dorm room. One thing that some of the women mention, Amber mentions it, and I think India mentions it as well, is that they're not used to grafting when it comes to guys. Like, they're not used to putting in any kind of work. Now they suddenly have to compete for the affection of these guys, and yeah, this is all new to them. The next day, India thinks she might have been too harsh on Ikenna. She wants to take things slow though. Gemma says that she was basically hanging off the bed and that Davide was right there. There was no cuddling whatsoever. Davide also says that he doesn't want to get too crazy too soon. Davide and Paige go for a talk then. I don't need him potentially getting in the middle of her and Luca. I don't think she's that interested in him though. Amber and Demi go for a chat. She asks what's happening, and he says you kind of need to be friends first and chill and get to know each other. She feels he's kind of unpredictable. I kind of liked how he asked questions like, should I open doors for you? Because I can't lie, I like having a door opened for me. I can't tell if he's been serious or not, but it was just so random. He is kind of random. I'd like to hear more about his job though. He's very smart. I feel like I get it when Amber says he's not really giving much though. Not yet anyway. Tasha tells Luca that she's a little bit into him. Davide and Jenna have another chat. This guy is devoid of all charm. He likes to fish for compliments, and you kind of get the sense that they're competing in a way. It's so fascinating to see these hot people and how they carry on. She's aware, she says in her confessional, that he needs to be brought down a notch. I agree. It's definitely getting to his head that he has his pick of the woman. Remember, he needs to pick one woman at the end of the night. Tasha talks about Luca's kiss. So they had this game and a bunch of people kiss, and she says that her kiss with Luca was better than the one with Andrew. She had more spark with Luca. Paige says she's okay with it. They can do a little swapsies. Davide is a hard no at this point. I don't think any of the women actually like him much beyond his looks either. I mean, I guess he probably does have a really nice personality, but he just coasts a lot on his looks and his accent, and yeah, that's not enough. I feel like I just need to see more. Who is this guy? Even Gemma seems annoyed by him, which I like that she doesn't give him the satisfaction of showing that she's too into him. At the end of the episode, Davide gets a text and it's time for him to choose. He obviously chooses Gemma. Poor Liam. At the end of the week, everyone will be coupled up and whoever's still single will be dumped. But there are also two new ladies coming to the house, Ekansu and Afia, so all is not lost for Liam. In episode 3, Liam says that he really still likes Gemma and he knows that he needs to move on and find someone he likes, but but his heart is set on Gemma. Liam, no. She's happy with Davide for now, but I don't see that lasting. Tasha actually wants Luca more than Andrew, but Andrew did give her that big smooch the night before in front of everyone, and she's nervous that, Luca might get the wrong impression about that. Gemma goes over to chat to Liam. He says that he's still taking it all in. She says that she still wants to chat to him, and he tells her that she's very much girlfriend material. He's smiling, and somehow he walks away from this conversation feeling hopeful. Luca is pleased about him and Paige having touched ankles last night. She says she's also looking forward to going to bed. Like, she's excited. Tasha tells Andrew that she's not going to carry on getting to know Luca, and Andrew tells her then that he spoke to Luca and Tasha isn't even in his top 3. So this turns into a whole thing. Tasha asks Luca about it and he confronts Andrew about it. Eventually Andrew apologizes to both Tasha and Luca. By the way, Luca does tell Tasha that he wants to get to know her, which I don't get, because he seems to be having a nice thing going with Paige, so what's the point? Paige and Luca chat and he admits that Tasha is in his top 3. She says then in her confessional that she doesn't want to be naive and only talk to him because she knows that he's talking to other people. Tasha also says that she wants to slow things down with Andrew. Davide and Gemma get to leave the villa to have their first date, and they're tasked with making lemonade, and they start talking about their families, their thoughts on marriage and children. She says after the date that she's more into Davide, which, okay, I guess. Luca has been encouraging Liam to give it another go with Gemma because, as he says, it's not over until it's over. This is terrible advice. Liam needs to get it together though. Jesus, it's not like they even actually dated. I don't get why he's so hung up on her. Dammy finally makes his move and he kisses Amber and they're very cute about it. At the end of the episode, Luca gets a text saying that 2 new girls are coming to the villa and the public has voted on who they'll date. Liam is going to go on a date with Afia and Ekin-Su, so he gets to go on a date with both of them. In episode 4, the boys are all cheering for Liam, and Dammy is telling him, look, you need to forget about Gemma for a bit. They're all psyching him up, and it's pretty fun. He has a chat with Afia, and she asks him what the situation is with the other girls, and he says he still has one foot in the door with Gemma. Liam, no. But he likes her, Afia, and her vibe. She's stunning, by the way, and she's very much in control, like she steers the conversation. Then he has a date with Ekin-Su. She says she's hypnotized by his blue eyes. I don't see this as a good match at all, though. He's, and respectfully, like a little too soft for her, I think. Gemma asked Davide to describe her in 3 words, and it's crickets. Like, he doesn't know what to say for the longest time. And then he's like, well, you're beautiful. And he tells her that she knows what she wants and that she likes when he gives her attention. As usual, I'm utterly baffled by this pairing. And Ekin-Su says the same thing later on, that they're just come across as kind of like a dry couple. Luca and Paige chat, and it's clear that they're super into each other. They say they're both number 1 on each other's lists. He tells her that the connection with her is better than it is with Tasha, but Paige says she's still going to be wary because she knows that guys know what girls want to hear. Liam walks in with his dates and everyone is like, wow. Davide and Luca are checking out Ekin-Su. The new girls have a lot of charisma. Gemma's feeling a little threatened, which good. I think that's healthy. Luca comments that he wants to rip Ekin-Su's clothes off. Yeah, they're getting everyone in the house all hot and bothered. Ekin-Su says that she's not there to make seasonal friends. She's there to meet the love of her life. But other than that, they kind of basically get along. Luca seems a little too into Ekin-Su. She offers to cook breakfast for everyone. She's playing the game really well. Like, she's involved. Afia tells Akana that he's her type, but he's being coy about it all, and I don't know about this guy. He's supposed to have some kind of charisma, right, since he's a salesman, but his vibe is very mysterious and not in a good way. India's feeling a little bit jealous because Ikenna and Afia are getting along very well. Tasha's also feeling a kind of way about Andrew and Ekin-Su. It's surprising because I'm not sure she's even into Andrew. Gemma thinks that she wants to chat with Luca now, especially since seeing that Davide and Ekin-Su were working out together and they were looking kind of cozy. She says she needs to talk to other people too and she likes Luca's vibe. In the evening, they play beer pong and there are a lot of surprises. Like, Tasha chooses to make out with Luca and then Andrew picks Paige to make out with because he thinks that she's the most wife material. Tasha's a little bit shocked and she says that it was a wake-up call for her because she knows that she could just lose Andrew. And Dammy tells her, rightly so, well, you did choose to make out with Luca first. Also, I get the feeling that, I don't know, Tasha wants Luca as her first option, but she also wants to keep Andrew around as a backup. I had a terrible first impression of Andrew, by the way, but he seems to be kind of nice, to be honest. Gemma and Luca go for a chat. Luca, what are you doing? She says she's attracted to him and she wants to get to know him. He tells her that if he could switch beds tonight, he would. And then he tells her that he really wants to kiss her, and she's like, not yet. Yeah, he's too into it, which is a bit of a turn-off. Davide is upset by Luca taking Gemma off for a chat. He feels that Luca should have said something, but Davide will chat to Luca about it, he says. In episode 5, Andrew admits that the kiss with Paige was a little bit because Tasha kissed Luca first. He knows that she likes Luca, so that was upsetting to him. But they do eventually make up, and it is really sweet. They're gonna be fine. Luca says that he wants Gemma now. He's had his eye on her ever since he got there, so he's going to go for her, even though Dami tells him that Davide was upset about it. Luca says he doesn't care. Davide and Gemma chat, and he says he's into her. He's a bit miffed that she never said anything about it, but he's fine if she wants to get to know Luca more. Luca and Davide have a bit of a thing about it. It gets a bit tense. Luca doesn't really think that he needed to say anything to Davide because he hadn't spoken to Gemma yet. Ikenna continues to underwhelm. India is so pretty and he's just not said one interesting thing, and I hate that he can't just sit up and actually look at her and talk to her. Dami and Amber are so adorable though. She even says so, and he says he's starting to feel some emotions brewing, and she says that she's feeling him a bit more too. It's very cute. Luca and Gemma chat again. So him and Paige are just finished now because it seems as though he's seeking out Gemma a whole lot. She senses that he's too into it, and at one point she tells him to stop looking so deeply into her eyes. He's all in. I mean, I guess she doesn't mind too much though because she seems to be done with Davide for now. And honestly, I can't really blame her because they were a pretty terrible match. Thank goodness Tasha divested from Luca though. I did not expect Luca to be so unstable and washy. Paige is pretty upset about this Luca and Gemma development, but she's putting on a brave face. She knows that they have a connection though, and oh, I hate this for her. But then again, if that's the guy Luca is, then she deserves better anyway. Gemma says that she feels more secure with Luca and she wants to get to know him more, so that's definitely happening. Someone gets a text then saying that that evening there's going to be another recoupling and the boys are going to have to choose who they want to be with. And by boys and girls, I actually mean men and women. I don't know why I keep saying boys and girls, sorry. Liam gathers everyone around the fireplace then. He's decided to leave the villa. He's thought about it and he doesn't feel like it's going well for him. He hasn't been quite himself. Jenna pulls him aside for a chat and they say their goodbyes and he'll be missed. The writing has been on the wall for a minute though with Liam. Even though Liam is too young, it is wild to me that women would rather go after Davide or Luca over Liam, who is the sweeter guy, but maybe he's too sweet. And you know, some of the women are a little bit like man-eater types. Respectfully. Afia really has her eye on Ikenna, which, ma'am, no, I don't know why. Because he's giving nothing, no vibes. By the way, he says about India that he wants to treat her like one of his boys first. He wants to be friends first. But then I'm thinking, well then, okay, then talk to her. Treat her like a friend then. Then it's time for the guys to pick their women. Dami picks Amber, of course. He gives such sweet reasons why he likes her, and it's so cute seeing them develop. Andrew and Tasha, really wholesome and sweet, dare I say romantic for both of the couples. Ikenna also talks quite a little bit for the first time, and he chooses India. He's going to need to give a little more though. Luca chooses Gemma, of course. Sweeps her right out from under David's arms, but I mean, we expected that. Gemma seems like the type who might get a little bit grossed out if he gets too into it, if you know what I mean, like a bit too desperate. Davide chooses Ekansu, which yeah, he didn't really spend time with anyone else, so it made sense, but I think had he chosen first, he would have gone with Gemma. I feel so bad for Paige and Afia because everyone is all coupled up. Afia put all her eggs into the Ikenna basket though, which is probably a bad move, and Paige is so sweet, you know, she might have given Liam a chance, but she seemed to be having a nice thing going with Luca until he burned that all to the ground. Oh well, anyway, that's episodes 2 to 5 of Love Island. Apparently tomorrow, Sunday, someone's ex, I think it's Gemma's ex, is coming to the villa. More drama awaits, I guess. Anyway, that's it for this video. Feel free to share your thoughts and thank you for watching.